How did you manage to win and come back from two big blinds to actually winning the game?
I mean, honestly, there's probably a lot of luck involved.
First big tournament where you played and where you find out, this is my game.
Came second in the APT main event. I think it was about 45,000. It ignited something in me where I was like, maybe this is something I can pursue.
That bad beat when you have the person, you trap them well, the other person have only 2% chance of hitting their card and they hit it. It's at a crucial stage of the game and the tilt just comes in. The blood rushes to our mind and
yeah.
How do you handle those situations?
It's important to let it out sometimes as well.
Are there any tell signs which you look for?
I'll give you one pretty big sign of weakness.
World Series of Poker, how was that experience?
Had a really good time. Paid for like a 7-week holiday, which isn't a bad thing for the experience.
What is your biggest challenge right now in poker and how you're approaching it? If poker is not in your life, where do you see yourself?
Poker will always be there.
Hi everyone, welcome to Brisbane Poker Club. I'm your host Aman Punia, and today I had the opportunity to sit down with an incredible poker player who's a rising star in the poker scene in Australia. He's already sitting at 190th rank for all-time money list in Australia, and he has earned more than $750,000. His name is Lachlan Crilly. During our conversation, I really got to know him, and he has an amazing mind within his personal life and within his professional life. There were so many golden moments and some extraordinary discussion we had, and I'm very sure you're going to enjoy this conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel because I genuinely want to produce quality content for you and really want to add value for your time. So sit back and relax and enjoy the all-in conversation.
Think dentist? Think Dentaglow.
Lachlan, welcome to Brisbane Poker Club.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, it's great to have you, mate. I've been thinking to have a chat with you for a long time. I still remember the first time I met you, and it was at the APL game last year, 24, and I reached the final table, and I didn't know much about you. It's my bad.
No, that's all right.
I got to know about you after the game was finished. I still remember I was the chip lead and you had the shortest stack, and I had a bad run and I went on tilt. I lost my whole stack and I came 7th on that final table. I left the game, I went home, and later that night I saw you won that game and you came first. I couldn't believe it because you hardly had 2 or 3 big blinds, and I was like, man, this guy must have a game. So let's start the discussion from there. How did you manage to win and come back from 2 big blinds to actually winning the game?
I mean, honestly, there's probably a lot of luck involved. I ran pretty good. To start with, there's probably not a lot of skill from like 2 to 3 big blinds. You got to win a few all-ins. So I ran pretty good in that aspect to start with. I also saw you ran pretty bad as well with some distribution and some all-in situations. But after that, I obviously ran good, and then I got to like a middling stack, and done a lot of work off the felt. So I was just trying to navigate that stack depth, and then caught some heat, hit the chip lead, and yeah, everything ran smoothly from there.
As we know, Lachlan, when we reach a final table, it's a different ball game altogether. Especially when we're playing a big tournament where you gradually build your stack and the different stages and phases which come in between. Do you have any particular strategy which you employ during the final table? Like, do you really play tight, or you play tight aggressive, or you pick your spots? Because I did see you playing your position very well. So do you have any particular strategy which you put in place for the final tables?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the start of the tournament to the middle stages to the final tables, you're adjusting and changing your strategies. And also there's a lot of stuff that's player dependent as well. So naturally, sometimes we're playing in live field, so you have to deviate a lot. With final tables, it definitely depends on what your stack depth is like. Obviously, if you're chip lead, your foot to the floor and you're trying to run over the table and put pressure. If you're middling, you have to sit back and let the big stack do the work, and hopefully you can navigate up into maybe heads up and go from there. And if you're short, well, there's not really much to lose kind of thing. So you're willing to take a few more risks and maybe get a few jumps and then go from there.
Fair enough. Thank you. Now let's take a step back, and I want to know who Lachlan is, where Lachlan was born, where he was raised, and what the backstory is. So can you take me to your backstory, please?
Sure. So I was born in Brisbane. I've lived here my whole life. So I was born in 1997. So I'm 27. And yeah, grew up with very loving parents, Christian background. Yeah, and they always pushed me to do whatever made me happy, but they always pushed us to try to achieve the best that we can in everything we did, me and my younger sister. And they always wanted us to try everything, experience everything, so they pushed us into, you know, music and sport and even chess and board games. And yeah, they just wanted us to experience everything, live a good life, but they're incredible role models, and yeah, really shaped who I was growing up.
Fair enough. So you have one sibling, your sister and yourself.
That's right.
Are you the younger one or the older one?
I'm the older, but we're very close in age. So we're 16 months difference. So yeah, you could say we're very close.
I can imagine that. I have two boys. They have the exact same gap, 16 months in between them.
Yeah.
So Lachlan, when you were growing up, I believe in the north side of the Brisbane.
Correct.
So tell me, did you finish high school and then what happened? Did you went to uni or did you start working? Tell me how was your work life?
Yeah. So when I graduated high school, I went to Kedron High School.
Okay.
My goal was to become a physiotherapist. I love sport, and I loved helping people, and I love science. So naturally, those three blended together to push into something like physiotherapy.
Okay.
And maybe I didn't work as hard as I could have in school. I enjoyed other things. I still worked hard, but not to maybe my potential. So I didn't actually get into physiotherapy straight away. So I graduated university in exercise science,
okay,
which got me in a position where I could push on to a master's of physiotherapy, which I didn't actually pursue. I was working for my old boss, who had a bond cleaning and residential house cleaning business.
Okay.
So I was working with him for quite a few years, and then it worked out where he wanted to transition into a different form of cleaning.
Okay.
So he actually gave me the business, and I ended up not going back to uni and pursuing, and I was running a residential house cleaning business for about 3 or 4 years.
Wow, I mean, that's a long period. Because I read somewhere that you started a cleaning business and then you went into music, then you started DJing, and from there you transitioned into poker. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I had the house cleaning business, and I'd say DJing was more a hobby, but it gave me a lot of opportunities because I love music. Always loved music, and I was doing house parties and some weddings, and then was potentially getting into some club stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that one was more a hobby. I did make a little bit of money from it, but that was not the purpose.
So how did you then start into poker? So you were doing the cleaning business, you ran that for 3-4 years, and then you're doing a side hustle in the DJ thing. But then how were you introduced into poker? How did that transition happen?
So with our family, we always grew up playing card games and board games, and we're all extremely competitive. So that comes to generations. We're all really competitive. And we first started playing 5-card, 2-draw kind of thing. That's what we first learned, maybe when we were 6 or 7.
Fair enough.
And then me and my cousin, we saw that there was Texas Hold'em, No Limit Hold'em, maybe when we were 12 or 13. And we saw that on YouTube, and we taught my dad. And then on holidays, when we went up to the coast to see my nana and my granddad, we had a small chip set, and we used to just play for hours. And then to getting more seriously was interesting. I think when I hit 18, we saw that there were pub games. And they were like, some were free rolls, some were $2 buy-ins, some were maybe 10 or 15, which at the time was a lot of money because I was broke, uni student. And yeah, I just really enjoyed playing those. And after a few years, I stopped playing because, you know, it wasn't as serious. I had a girlfriend at the time. I was running the business, so I just didn't have time. And then, yeah, my relationship ended. And I was like, oh, I want to do something, maybe to fill the void or whatever it was. And yeah, I picked up poker again, and that's when I came onto the scene in about 2022.
So 2022, so that's like 3 years back.
Yeah, that was my first series, was an APT series in Brisbane.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started playing back in 2022 and you started taking it more seriously.
Correct, yeah.
So what was the first big tournament where you played and where you find out, this is my game, this is where I can excel, this is where I can make my name? Do you remember that moment or that tournament?
Well, that's a good question. I was playing a little bit of online a few years before I came onto the live scene, and I was really blessed. I was playing like $5, $10 sit and goes just on the apps, and did really well. And it gave me, it ignited something in me where I was like, maybe this is something I can pursue. And then I got to credit a friend of mine, Steve Swelling, who I didn't know at the time, but he was a mutual friend. And he saw something in me which I didn't see, and he started backing me into certain tournaments at the start of 2022. And the first tournament where I was like, well, maybe I can actually make a living off this was later in the year. I came second in the APT main event.
Okay.
For, I think it was about 45,000. And I'd had a good year before that. I had a couple of like decent results, and it was just kind of brewing, but that result definitely gave me confidence and thought maybe I can pursue something here.
Okay, so you had a investor who staked the money so you can buy in bigger games.
Yeah.
And then you had an early success in the APT. We cashed in 45,000, so that's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
So what is your typical normal comfortable buy-in range when you go and look for poker games? A, can ask you, are you playing much cash game or you are mainly a tournament player?
So that year in 2022, a lot of my friends were telling me that PLO was the future. So I was like, well, if the games are really good, I want to learn. So I taught myself how to play PLO, and I was playing online and having a lot of success. So I guess in the background, that was a good, you know, influx of an income. So that balance of playing tournaments live and online, but then also playing PLO online, that's kind of been my merge of what I'm playing, yeah.
Okay. So but you don't play cash games in casino, like generally speaking?
No, very, very rarely. Like I might play a home game here or there, or I might go to the casino, but very, very rarely. It would more be a social thing to spend time with friends, if anything, yeah. Okay.
So, sorry, to coming back to the same question again. If you have a chance to go and buy in tournaments, right now I think obviously you have much success, you know, and you can afford to buy in bigger games. But what is your comfort zone? Like you're comfortable to buy in, say, 450 game, 600 game, 1,000 game, 2.5. Like what was that?
I'd say it's taken time. When I first started playing, even playing 1Ks, buy-ins, you know, are a little daunting. I wasn't used to it. And I've always valued money, and my parents have always taught me to be risk adverse. So risking $1,000 at a time seemed like a lot. But now when you kind of play poker, you kind of desensitize yourself a little bit and you understand the math and what's behind it. And now I'm playing anything from like 600 to 5,000. I'm comfortable.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and that's kind of my range that I'm playing at the moment.
No, definitely. And I think as the game, you know, keeps on going and your skill set is increasing, then your stakes goes up. And if you're getting success, and I guess it's part of your bankroll management as well, you probably assess it, you know, every now and then to see where you're heading up. So can I ask you a question? Like, you know, when you play these big tournaments, what, in your opinion, what separates players who sort of min cash? Because we see a lot of players, good players, And might I say, include myself into one of those category who's cashing in just, in a big tournament, but not reaching the final table or the deep end of the tournament. What separates those players, from a professional player in your opinion?
Obviously, there's a lot of variance in the game. So when we're playing live poker, like a small sample might not necessarily represent, you might be getting min cashes or not getting results, but it might not represent the ability. I see very good players who are very talented who are transitioning from online to live and not having the results just yet, but they're incredible players.
Okay.
But also, the more experience you get, the more you play, the more comfortable you feel playing for bigger money in those spots, the more studied you are, the more work you do off the felt, you'll feel more comfortable going for spots and you'll feel more comfortable in those positions. And you see a lot of the experienced players, they seem to pop up all the time. And that's because they've been there before. And sometimes it just takes, one bit of luck from a player to, have a result, but then that gives them the confidence to maybe work on their game.
Yeah.
Or, go, maybe there's a future in this for me. And that was definitely my case as well. I had that result early in my career and it gave me confidence to be like, I could pursue this profession and also that drive to get there again, again and again.
No, it's a very competitive game. As we know, we have to beat the 99% of the people to win the top spot.
Yeah.
So tell me, Lachlan, did you study much when you started your journey, or also are you still studying, or do you have a pattern or a routine on improving your game?
Yeah, I think it's a very underrated aspect of the game. I think playing in volume is important, but I think studying off the felt is very important. And it's something that I've been very focused on since I first started playing. Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice to be playing and knowing what you're doing in certain spots. So it's like if you sit down, you're like, okay, this board texture's come out, I know what to do. And at the very start, I didn't know what to do on a lot of spots and I was freestyling. But over time, I was like, I just want to put my head down and focus on the study so then it could represent on the field as well. And now, studying wise, I like to study maybe an hour or so a day if I can. Not always possible because we might be playing in a series or away or something's going on, but if I can at least get something in per day, it's nice.
So what does that study look like to you? Is it like you write down your notes, the hands which you have played and you replay them, or you read some books, or you watch some online content? What does that study look like? Because I want to really understand when a professional is studying, what exactly steps they are taking to improve their game.
Yeah, I think studying might not necessarily be like sitting down and doing solver work. It could literally just be watching a stream of some of the top players playing, right? Because you can learn how they navigate spots and then you can go maybe to the solver and work. For me personally, I like to go over hands with friends, whether it's I've written down hands that I've played and I haven't understood what to do in certain spots, whether we're going through intricate parts of the game, doing solver work, or even just watching streams. But I think something that's really underrated is doing the journey with people, because they might see the game or different spots differently to you, and vice versa. So doing it with, smart people who understand the game or friends can really grow your game.
I think I can totally relate to that. Having a good support system is very critical, and to discuss those hands and those experiences with them, they can provide a different perspective. And not everyone can be a part of that journey, and so people who understand the game, they can only give you quality advice. So how do you see the game? Do you think it's more of a math/strategy game, or it's more of a psychological, reading the player, feeling the felt, that type of game? What's your read?
Personally, I'm a very theoretical player. So I've grown up in the new school where, we study things very mathematical, and then we kind of deviate player to player and trying to exploit maybe their weaknesses or where we think we can make our money in certain spots. I think also experience and the psychological aspect and reading opponents might be underrated a little bit. That intuition, sometimes you really can't teach. That kind of comes naturally over time and playing a lot of volume and a lot of live poker. So I definitely think there's value to both. And those players who do have both have the experience and they've got the study. They're the top guys.
And tell me about, like, how do you handle the bad beats? When you get that bad beat, when you have the person, you trap them well, the other person have only 2% chance of hitting their card and they hit it. It's at a crucial stage of the game and the tilt just comes in, the blood rushes to our mind, and how do you handle those situations?
Personally, I don't get too high or too low when I'm playing. I've been playing for quite a while now, so I understand what it's like, and they're going to put beats on you, we're going to put beats on them. It's part of the game, but I might be at home and I'm probably a bit more vocal because I'm not around people. I don't want to ruin the atmosphere when I'm playing in a live aspect. There's a lot of people playing for fun and recreationals, they're there for the weekend, and I don't want to ruin that by getting annoyed. But if I'm at home, then I might let it out and yell a couple of come on mans, and my dad will be like, what's going on? And so
fair enough.
It's important to let it out sometimes as well.
I think as you grow within the game, I think you are able to handle it much better.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, you had that bad run. I was playing APL, last month itself, and I had some classic bad runs back to back, game after game.
Yeah.
And in the end, I felt I was burnt out, and I'm like, let me take a break, refocus and regroup, and then come back to it.
Yeah.
Lachlan, tell me one thing. You've been playing so much game in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
What are the common mistakes you see people are making at the table? Like, if you can share 2 or 3 mistakes or or bad games or bad play people make way too often, which you see all the time.
I think a few things that I've seen is people are wanting to get into ego battles too often. A lot of people will think, oh, maybe this professional's running over me or pushing me around or whatever it is, but they're just playing their cards. They're just playing their hands, and we can get in our mind that it turns into a leveling war, and we think it is, but it's actually not realistically.
I'm actually guilty of that.
We can get like that sometimes.
I was feeling sometimes, when I'm big blind, a particular player is just picking on me because it's my big blind, but eventually I understand it's just the position and the game they're playing.
Exactly. Like, for example, if someone's button and you're big blind, they're going to be opening your big blind because they've got a wider range. They're going to be opening a bit more. It's not personal. It's just part of the game. And so, definitely that one. I think there's some technical ones as well that I've seen players do quite often. Maybe what we were talking about earlier, where they're not adjusting their ranges from the start of the tournament to maybe the final table, and they stay the same. They're playing the same hands, the same ranges from different positions, and they're making mistakes because, naturally we have to, deviate our game to the aspects of the tournament that we're in. And maybe last one is we probably get too caught up in like just the general one of just trying to win too often. Like, it's good to be competitive, but I guess as professionals as well, we can get caught in the trap of, we're here to make money, we're here to win, and to lose the aspect of why we started playing in the first place. And that was because of enjoyment.
No, I totally agree. I was listening to Daniel Langrano, and he was saying his style is that he want to make sure everyone on the table is having fun.
Yeah.
In the end, someone is going to win, someone is going to lose. His role as a professional is to make sure everyone is comfortable.
Yeah.
Everyone is having a great time. And I think I come from that philosophy as well.
Yeah.
You're there to make some new friends, have fun at the table, and let the cards speak, let the poker gods speak, and the person who's going to win, they're going to win.
Yeah. I think it's important to be competitive, of course. We all want to win. But we're all playing for different reasons too. And a lot of people play for enjoyment. And as professionals, I think it's our duty to make sure the majority of people who are playing for enjoyment actually enjoy themselves and the aspect is good. And honestly, I see a lot of players, they get caught up in the emotions of, I've been running bad for a long time. And I think it affects their game over the long run because they start getting negative thoughts. I'm not saying that energy affects the cards, but it's funny how when you are feeling negative, or things aren't going your way, it compounds. So
no, definitely. I think energy within yourself affects your decision making. If you're on a tilt or if you can handle the pressure properly, you can make that right, assessment of the situation, what's happening, what's not happening. And if you are not in the right frame of mind, obviously you're not going to make the best choice.
Absolutely.
Talking about the game, I'm very interested in this particular segment. Hollywood, Bollywood, they all talk about reading the plays, having that tell sign. We all have seen rounders, the cookie cracking and getting to know that live tell. When you play on a table, are there any tell signs which you look for? And perhaps if there's one you can share with us and with the audience.
Sure.
Anything which you have picked up which is right majority of the time, or?
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely quite a few that I've seen over time, and you get over experience. You get them with experience. When the more you play, you'll just see little things, and to the trained eye they seem obvious. To the untrained eye, you might not see them. I'll give you one small secret that I see. I see a lot of, well, not a lot, but a few players, they might get on, say we get to the river, it's a big pot, and they start playing with their chips like they're going to bet, right? And they might cut something out and then they check. That's a pretty big sign of weakness, because they're trying to appear strong, like they want to bet, they want to put chips out, but now they're checking. So it's just like psychological. Look at me, I want to put chips in the pot. All right, up to you, kind of thing. And that's one big one where they generally want you to check behind, or they want you to kind of surrender, kind of thing, because they don't have a strong holding.
I'll keep an eye out for that one. So, what is your biggest challenge right now in poker, and how you're approaching it?
I think the biggest challenge for me is maybe burnout in general. We go to a lot of series, we play a lot of poker, within online and live, and we're playing hours and hours and hours. We're traveling a lot, and for me, my physical and mental health definitely takes a hit with doing that for a long time. So it's trying to find that balance, even that work-life balance of looking after the body and the mind, but then also getting the hours in poker as well.
Fair enough. I saw that you went to play World Series of Poker.
Correct.
I think in June.
Yep.
How was that experience? Was it your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time over for the World Series. I'd been to the US before in Vegas, but not for a World Series. And yeah, we had a really good time. We went with a good bunch of guys, which made the trip really enjoyable. We were staying about 20 minutes off the strip in this nice Airbnb, and then driving in every day for a tournament. And overall, it was a great experience. The poker was enjoyable. Obviously, different people. You're playing with Americans instead of Australians. But what really made it enjoyable was the people we were with for the trip.
Fair enough. Did you had any cash in? Did you win any game over there while you were playing?
Overall for the trip, I broke even.
Okay.
So paid for like a 7-week holiday, which isn't a bad thing for the experience. I cashed about, I think maybe 8 or 9 tournaments.
Okay.
Nothing major, but I had one deep run, which was close at the start. So in the first week of the series, I came 26th out of 6,500 in a $600 deep stack, which for about 12.7K US. And it was one of those ones where it was just like touching distance. I lost a big pot, which probably would have got me to top 5 stack, and who would have known from there, but it was a great experience and I ran good to get there.
So right now you're living a professional life, and I take it playing poker is your main profession, right? You're
Correct.
Not doing the cleaning business anymore, you're not doing any other business. So as a professional player, are you comfortable talking about your bankroll strategy?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I ask you, do you have a particular goal in your mind? For yearly objective, you want to make that much money to support your lifestyle and your traveling and your buyings for the other games. And on a bigger picture, can you talk about your bankroll management? What do you do? What are your cutoffs? What is your strategy over there?
I think when I sold my cleaning business, poker was what I wanted to pursue because I loved the game. And I knew I was potentially taking a pay cut because business grows. It's definitely easier to make money in business than it is in poker. It's a hard lifestyle to actually make good money. But it's definitely something I wanted to pursue. I wouldn't say I have a goal actually money-wise, like an amount, but as long as I can live my life comfortably and then maybe put savings towards investments later in life or a future family kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the goal, to set myself up so I can eventually move away from poker professionally, but then still play recreationally here and there.
Okay, so basically, if I'm hearing it right, you want to create alternate sources for passive income.
Yeah.
And use that later on to support your future family or future self.
Yeah.
And then you can still play the game, but more on a recreational side.
Correct. Yeah.
That makes sense, because that's my question. I'll keep on asking myself, because there are very few players who can make it professionally.
Correct.
And they do need to have a support system in place. Otherwise, as we all know, all these buy-ins can add up, and eventually, if you don't run deep, if you don't come in the top 3%, it's very hard to make real money.
Correct. Yeah.
And statistically, mathematically, it is a very challenging game. And I say poker is the alpha game. You have to be alpha every single time in every tournament if you want to win.
Yeah.
So definitely it makes sense to put sources out there so that you can support yourself and so forth.
Absolutely.
So Lachlan, if you have a choice to play anywhere in the world, what is your favorite poker location or destination?
I've mainly played in Australia. And then I've been to Vegas this year, but I really want to go try the Asia circuit. A lot of the boys are going there. The games are very good. The cost of living is cheap, and I enjoy Asia. But if I had to have one place that I really enjoy, it's probably in Townsville. Okay. So at the Ville, just because it feels more like a comfortable holiday atmosphere. We're next to a pool. We're in kind of like a casino and resort. It feels like we're actually going away for a holiday, and then we're playing a couple of fun tournaments on the side.
I've heard a lot about it as well. I think last year, a few players went there and they were telling it's such a beautiful scenery. The whole location and the casino is a very nice spot, and I hear you.
Yeah.
So Lachlan, tell me one thing: if you don't play, if poker is not in your life, where do you see yourself? What would you be doing? What other roles you can be, doing in your life? And
I think poker will always be there, but eventually it might be on the side. I've always wanted to help people in ways that I can, whether it's with charity work or like even back when I was pursuing physio, helping people. So I think later in life I want to do something where I can make a difference. Because poker, there's a lot of taking, and you're kind of preying on the weak a little bit to make an income, and you're not really adding to society either. You're taking money and you're running, kind of thing. So I want to do something a bit more fulfilling, helping people, whether it's maybe support work or like guidance counselor work or something along those lines.
Yeah. And I hear you participate every year in that charity where you shave off your head as well, and I believe you raised thousands of dollars last year. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I do it every year, but I've done it twice now. So when I first finished school, I did it, and then at the start of this year, I did it as well. I had long hair for over 10 years, so it's definitely a bit of a change. But yeah, super cool to do something where outside of yourself and to try and make a difference. Yeah.
No, that's a great gesture. Anything which you can do to improve others' life, it's a must have, it's a must do. I always say to my friends and peers, if I don't add value in your life, you let me know, because the whole purpose of my life is to add value in any shape or form. And that's my way of sort of giving back to society and my loved ones and near ones.
Yeah, that's
fantastic. So I totally relate to you.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Lachlan, there are a lot of young players who are coming up in Brisbane in Australia. And I feel like poker scene is again reliving. Like it started back in 2006, 2007, 2008, there's a big boom, and I can see it's happening again.
Yeah.
So if you see a new young player, what advice would you give it to him or her, and any golden nuggets to share with them?
I think from my experience is to actually make it, like, I've seen so many players who are super talented and they're really good at the game, but you're not gonna go broke from being talented at the game. You're gonna go broke from the things around the game, because there's definitely lifestyles that I've seen. There's the gambling aspect. People enjoy getting to table games or sports betting, or the lavish lifestyle where we're traveling a lot. We're eating well. There's kind of that party aspect, and those are the sort of things that around you that are actually going to bring you down and hinder your game. Everything in moderation is okay, but if they're starting to have a bigger aspect than your pursuit of the game, that's what's going to bring you down. So I think it's important to stay focused, but have really good support network around you, so they can push you and you can push them in the right direction.
I think you're quite spot on. I think you have spoken like a really mature person, because when you're traveling, when you have other people who you can pick up on bad habits from other people, and it can be challenging. By the time you learn, it's too late. So I think it's a very good advice. One thing I didn't ask you, like, I always believe a healthy mind cannot live in an unhealthy body. And when we play poker, we play late nights and we're traveling. So what's your routine over there? Do you do workout? Do you watch what you're eating? How do you keep a healthy mind in a healthy body?
I'd probably, being honest, compared to most people, probably my physical health isn't as good as others. I got a few health things that I've had for a long time, so it's definitely something that I'm trying to improve on. My routine is definitely out of whack. A poker lifestyle is crazy, so our sleep schedule is very late. We're going to bed at 3, 4 a.m. and then waking up at 1 p.m., stuff like that. But I think the most important thing I've seen, and I'm trying to do myself, is to not get wrapped around the poker lifestyle in every aspect of your life. I think it's important to have a good balance outside, whether that's taking a holiday, spending time with family, and when you do have times like time off series, to get back in routine, start sleeping well, eating well, getting sun. We can get very white because we're sitting in the very pale because we're sitting in the inside all day, every day, when we're getting lack of vitamin D. But I think it's important to just do the basics right when you can.
All right, Lachlan, my last question to you is, what is that one lesson which poker has taught you about life?
That's a good question. I've definitely learnt a lot of things about myself and about others from the game. I think the biggest thing I've found is, I'd say money isn't everything, because it's easy to, because we're playing for prize pools and we're playing for a lot of money, and it's easy to get caught up in I just want that big score, or I just want to hit that big result. So it takes that stress off. But I think there's more important things to life than, getting that big result kind of thing. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. So now we're gonna have a very nice, quick, rapid fire round, and I would like you to answer it straight away, whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
So no thinking, shoot.
No thinking.
All right. First poker memory.
Playing cards with family. Yeah.
Favorite hand.
Jack 10 suited.
Sunglasses or no sunglasses?
Both is okay.
Hoodie or collared shirt at the table?
Hoodie.
Tournament or cash game?
Tournament.
Preferred buy-in for a game?
1,000.
Biggest win so far?
49.
K?
Yeah, 49K. $49. No, 49K.
Okay. One player you would love to play heads up?
Ooh, Phil Ivey.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Live read or solver strategy?
Solve strategy, but both important.
Okay. Best advice you have ever received in poker?
Enjoy yourself at the table.
Your lucky charm at the table?
Ooh, don't really have one. Yeah.
Most tilting moment you had?
Ooh. Losing a big flip to win a big tournament. Yeah.
Fair enough. Favorite poker movie or TV show?
Rounders is pretty good. Yeah.
Nothing can beat Rounders.
No.
That's the godfather of poker.
Yeah.
Okay. If not poker, what game you would dominate at?
Ooh. Maybe Monopoly.
No. Okay. One word that describes your poker style.
Selective. Yeah.
Fair enough. Alrighty. I think I've got most of my questions. So what is your plan generally?
Yeah.
Like, like where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Do you still want to play the game, or you want to reach a certain stage in terms of winning a tournament or hitting a financial goal? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, I mean, I still want to be playing the game until maybe my 60s or 70s. Like, I love the game of poker. Like, that's why I first started playing, because I enjoyed it. Eventually, maybe 5-10 years, I want to transition out, so I can still play here and there. You'll still see my face around, but yeah, I think there's more important things in life, whether it's like you said earlier, it's about making a difference in people's lives and making sure people feel loved, and you're generous towards others, and I want to give back to the people around me and everyone else.
So where do you play now normally? Like, what's your routine like? Are you just aiming for big tournaments, or are you playing some tournaments plus online game? Do you want to share?
Yeah, so I mainly throughout the day, when I'm not away at a series, I'm just playing online, whether that's tournaments or PLO cash.
Okay.
And then throughout the week, I like to go to just some local games, not necessarily to make money, but I enjoy being around people. Okay. And I've got a lot of friends who play the local games, so it's enjoyable to leave the house after sitting all day and then spend time with them. And then mainly just on the live circuit. So there's so much around Australia, and we're just traveling around playing all the major series, tournament series, yeah.
So where do you play normally in Brisbane, like Fun, Empire, or Star City, or doesn't matter? Like
yeah, mainly Empire, because I live like 2 minutes away from there.
Yeah.
So it's really close and it's convenient.
Fair enough.
Occasionally at the Ferns or occasionally at Cyprus, but very rare. Mainly Empire.
And how's the poker scene in other cities like Adelaide, Perth, or Melbourne, Sydney? Do you travel much there?
Yeah. So I'm unsure what they're doing with their weekly stuff, whether they have the Empire equivalent or the Cyprus equivalent. But I do know that, especially in Sydney, they've got a lot of series and a lot of tournaments going on. I'd say it's maybe the new hub of poker in Australia. Gold Coast definitely was through that COVID period for a few years, but I think it's slowly transitioning back to Sydney. And I've seen that Melbourne's starting to grow as well, which is great to have them have tournament series back again, because they used to be big originally.
Yeah, especially since Aussie Million was running and those series were like pretty good, and we had a lot of international crowd which was coming in.
Yeah.
And I think they're starting it soon again.
Yeah, it's exciting to have it back. It was a bit before my time. I was a bit young, so it'd be incredible to experience it next year, because a lot of the OGs, you could say, it's just their favorite series. They love it.
No, that sounds good. All right, Lachlan. Thanks, mate. It was good to have a chat with you, and it was a pleasure to meet you and have this discussion.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. I think you've got a great vision, and I appreciate you having me here. And I love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. Thanks, mate.
Nah, thank you, man. Thank you.
So that was the conversation with Lachlan. I had such a great time. He's really great at maths, strategy, and he runs like a poker god. He has achieved so much in such a short span of time. It is so impressive. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Please let us know in the comment section if there's any improvement we can make or any other guests you want us to bring on. So thank you for listening to us, and have a great day. Be safe.